Welcome! I'm Caitlin McKenna with the Greatest Moves team of RE/MAX Advantage. If you're watching this video, you're probably relocating to the Baltimore area, or you already live here and you're looking for a change. Well, in this video, I'm going to compare and contrast two neighborhoods that are very near and dear to my heart, Rodgers Forge and Stoneleigh. They're right next to each other. They share a lot of the same amenities, but they're really different. So in this video, I'm going to give you a little map tour, show you where they both are, tell you a little bit about things in each neighborhood and the things that they share in common. So let's do it. So before we get into the nitty-gritty differences between these two neighborhoods, I'll show you where they are in relationship to everything else in Baltimore. So you can see downtown Baltimore is here. You have 83, which comes up through the center of the city, and 695, which runs around the outside. The city line is actually like a little rectangle inside of this circle. Both of these neighborhoods are in the county, just so you're aware. And they're really kind of conveniently wedged between Towson, which is the seat of Baltimore County. There's a lot going on there. It's a city unto itself. And Baltimore City down here. So whether you prefer to go to Baltimore or Towson, you are perfectly positioned to go to either. You have York Road, which runs through the center, or you can come down York Road, hop on Northern Parkway here, and hop on 83 very easily. So super accessible. The first of these two neighborhoods that we'll talk about is Stoneleigh. So that is everything that you see in blue here. Stoneleigh is wedged between Rodgers Forge here, Annesley and Wiltondale to the north. This neighborhood is primarily comprised of single-family homes. There's lots of greenery in the neighborhood. It's actually designed by Frederick Olmsted, who also designed Roland Park, Guilford, Patterson Park, and Central Park, just to name a few of his works. And he had this really strong emphasis on preserving the natural beauty of the neighborhood while still constructing a residential area. So you'll see the streets are kind of windy and strange, and it's because he would build around large trees. So that also makes it super inconvenient to go through that neighborhood as a cut through. So there's not really a lot of traffic on these roads typically. One of the other draws for this neighborhood, as well as Rodgers Forge, is the blue ribbon schools associated with the area. So you have Stoneleigh Elementary, which is right in the neighborhood and is an excellent school. You also have the Stoneleigh Pool, which is very popular. It's the place to be in the summer. They offer memberships for residents and non-residents, so don't worry if you don't live in Stoneleigh, you can still go there, but you will pay a little bit more. Now, Rodgers Forge is right across York Road, and this is primarily row homes. So there are a few single-family homes that are like along Stevenson and along York Road, but the large majority are row homes. They also have excellent schools in this neighborhood. It's bordered by Towson University to the north, and then Giddings and Bologna down here. So the schools in Rodgers Forge are excellent as well, blue ribbon schools. You have Rodgers Forge Elementary right in the middle of the neighborhood, which is actually where I went to elementary school. And then right next to that is Dumbarton Middle School, which is where kids from Rodgers Forge and Stoneleigh, as well as a couple of other neighborhoods, go to middle school. I can tell you that when I lived there, I walked to school every single day. I never had a problem. Most of the kids in the area do that, and it's a very family-friendly neighborhood. And then one of the other things that's Rodgers Forge specific is the tot lot. So a really, really cute little playground. They've got everything from jungle gyms, swing sets, sandboxes, and a large green space to just run around and be a kid. This is the place to be if you are anywhere between the ages of 2 and 12. This is the spot. The other thing about Rodgers Forge that makes it super playable is the alleys. So there's a whole network of alleys throughout the neighborhood where people have like basketball hoops out back, or if you were me, you ride your bike all through the neighborhood in the alleys, and it's just they're not like dirty, grimy city alleys. It's a different thing. So that's really cool. And the other thing about Rodgers Forge is that they're mostly one-way, fairly narrow streets, which keeps the traffic pretty slowed down. You don't have as many people like speeding through the neighborhoods, which just adds an element of quiet and calm to the area. One of the things that these neighborhoods share is the Charmery. So if you're from the area, you know about the Charmery from Hamden. They're a great local ice cream shop. They make their own ice cream. Their flavors are really inventive and creative, and it's a perfect place to go get something sweet after dinner. Also on that same little strip of York Road, you have Stoneleigh Lanes, which is an institution. Duckpin bowling is like kind of a Baltimore thing, and this is the place to do it. It's kind of unassuming. You wouldn't really know that there's a whole bowling alley here, but if you go in this door, then it's in the basement, and they have the little small bowling balls and the little teeny tiny duck pins. It's fun. Another thing that's a big thing in the community is the St. Pius Fair. So once a year, they put on a fair right here at the St. Pius Church. There's Ferris wheel, lots of rides, carnival food, and games, and everyone in the community comes out for this. Rodgers Forge, Stoneleigh, Wiltondale, like everybody in this area comes for this fair, and it's a big deal. It's a lot of fun. As far as the other resources, if you lived in this area, the Giant is right down the street, very accessible. And where this is, there's a bank, you have dry cleaners, you have a pizza place, there's a Party City and a Walgreens. So everything that you could need, you've got right there. And again, if you are looking for something that's a little bit different, you're just a stone's throw away from Towson. So very, very convenient. And those are some of the amenities in the area. One of the things that these neighborhoods do have in common, though, is a really strong sense of community. In Stoneleigh, the people who live there are really proud to live there, and the same thing is true for Rodgers Forge. When I grew up there, we had a block party every year, and it was so much fun. You know your neighbors, and people help each other out, and it's just a really lovely place to live. So that's a little bit about those neighborhoods. Just to conclude the compare and contrast portion of this exercise, Rodgers Forge is more townhomes. You'll be able to get into that neighborhood between $300,000 and $500,000. The name of the game there is speed, because the houses go quickly. It's a very desirable place to live. In Stoneleigh, your price point is between $450,000 and $1 million. They're single family homes with a little bit of land and a lot of green space throughout the community. So that's kind of the big differences as far as real estate go. If you have any questions at all about either of these neighborhoods, I grew up there and I know them like the back of my hand. If you'd like any help buying or selling real estate anywhere in the greater Baltimore area, I would love to assist. And if you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching.